pop open the champagne because Biden has just announced he's dropping out of the presidential race. Rip in peace, pack watch you, genocidal, senile old man. Woo! Hi everyone, Atlas here, and welcome on back to the channel. I am so glad to finally announce we are officially back, baby. So back, in fact. Yesterday afternoon at 1:45 p.m. Eastern Time, Biden let his staff know he was dropping out of the race, the press being informed, and a letter to the American people being posted on his various social media. My fellow Americans, over the past 3.5 years, we have made great progress as a nation. I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together, we overcame once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We've protected and preserved our democracy, and we've revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president, and while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. I believe today what I always have, that there's nothing America can't do when we do it together. We just have to remember we are the United States of America. For better or for worse, folks, it is officially Jover. So, where do we go from here? Well, upon dropping out of the race, Biden also endorsed Kamala Harris for the Democratic presidential nomination. The group Biden for President, Biden's re-election PAC, has already filed with the FEC to change their name to Harris for President. This effectively means that Kamala will have access to the massive war chest the Biden campaign was holding on to. So will anyone be challenging Kamala for the nomination? Can she even lose the nomination at this point? Well, honestly, it's not really looking like she can at this moment. See, when Biden dropped out of the race, all the delegates that had pledged to vote for Biden at the DNC were effectively released, meaning they can freely decide who to nominate instead. However, Biden's endorsement of Harris holds a ton of influence on how these delegates who pledged to vote for Biden are going to vote. In fact, at this hour, 1,152 delegates have pledged to vote for Kamala Harris at the convention. She needs a total of 1,976 delegates to win the first vote. The fact that over 1,000 delegates have already pledged to vote for Kamala within 24 hours of Biden dropping out says a lot about how the rest are going to vote. The other reason Kamala's nomination is practically guaranteed at this point is because of the massive amount of endorsements she has already received from influential party figures. She already has Biden's endorsement, arguably the most important. But she's also been endorsed by key figures like Nancy Pelosi, the Clintons, party leadership, and also the big Democratic governors. The significance of that last one is that all the big names who had been floated around as potential challengers at the DNC were mostly Democratic governors, and they have all thrown their endorsement behind Harris. This includes California Governor Gavin Newsom, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. All of these factors essentially guarantee Kamala the nomination. So the real question is, can Kamala Harris beat Donald Trump? That question is a lot harder to answer. The answer to that question might depend on the polls you look at. Truthfully, as far as polls go, it's probably going to be best to wait a few days before actually looking at them. It hasn't even been 36 hours yet, and usually whenever there's a major event that might impact the polls, the impact of the event on the polls tends to lag by a couple of days. What I can tell you is that Trump is historically unpopular. He didn't even win the popular vote when he was elected in 2016. Actually, as a matter of fact, Harris has usually underperformed Joe Biden in the polls. That being said, however, this is a whole new dynamic. The spotlight is now on Kamala Harris. It's going to depend a hell of a lot on what she decides to do with the 100 days she's been given. So far, I'm not entirely sure what her campaign is doing. Leaning a lot into Brat Summer and the coconut tree memes, I think. I don't really know what whatever this is supposed to mean. All I think of when I see this is green lesbians, so maybe that's the demographic she's going for. And I think that could be a really winning strategy, you know? That being said, that's just about all I have for you guys today. I did want to encourage you to all to check the description for links with information, online resources, and charities to donate to in support of the besieged people of Gaza. Horrific tragedies still continue to happen in the Gaza Strip on a daily basis, so please consider checking out some of those links in the description. Thank you all so much for watching. Consider leaving a like or subscribing if you enjoyed today's video. Do y'all think that Kamala Harris is capable of beating Trump in November? Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, night, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.